Hello. Happy Leo full moon. I'm back with another collective reading. Took a break because life has been lifing. If you see this reading, watch it, but also go to my page and click the link in my bio and place a bid on some prints that I am currently selling. Just as a sort of rule of thumb, I don't really like talking about my personal life on social media because in my experience, y'all do not be wishing me well. I'm not saying, people are preying on my downfall or anything, but like, you're definitely not wishing me well. All right. And in my experience, anytime I've posted good news on social media, it turns bad. And anytime I post bad news on social media, it gets worse. So I genuinely try not to talk about or post about my personal life, especially when shit has gone awry. But shit has gone awry, and so I am auctioning off some prints, and I welcome you to take a look at the link in my bio, see if there's anything that you want to place a bid on, and yeah, let's get into this collective reading. Okay. All cups and pentacles. For our anchor, I pulled the 10 of Pentacles. For the compass, the 10 of Cups. For where we are at collectively, put the 9 of Cups right here. And for what is coming towards us collectively is the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, man, I've been thinking about this a lot in terms of like just foundations. With Pluto shifting into Aquarius, obviously this is like decades long, generation long cycle, right? And things moving, shifting, transforming. Pluto being the planet of death, and regeneration, and also like the shadow, like the collective unconscious, subconscious, I think, yeah. Subconscious, it's like the lair of the dragon, so to speak. And so to be in this sign about humanism, humanitarianism, philanthropy, eccentricity, right? And what that means for us, as a collective, right? How we move forward and how we understand our foundations. So obviously, the 10 of Pentacles as our anchor card. An anchor card for me is like the point of return that I come to in a reading. So if I'm in a reading and it's very stabby and there's like a lot of swords, then I will look to my anchor card for like, okay, how do I ground myself so I don't get overwhelmed seeing all of these swords in the reading? It's like this grounding energy. It's the energy that is going to keep us connected to, the root of it all. It's going to keep us grounded. So the 10 of Pentacles being the collective, grounding energy, is definitely a card of stability in foundations. It's a card of wealth. It's a card of legacy, and ancestry as well. It's about being able to build, a future, a legacy, because you have a deep and profound understanding of your foundations, because you toiled away, and you built something solid. And so, obviously, as per my last post, and I've mentioned on like my other page, I was in a flash flood. And I was not in by any means like the worst area that was affected, but I was in a school at the time, and the foundation of the school was like, there were rooms that were even on the second floor that were flooding because the water was coming in through the side of the walls. And so when I think of like foundations, and I think of the people who were most affected, like my studio was affected, and like but there was, there's people who rented out the basement of this warehouse, right? And they're a recording company. The basement filled up 4 feet with water. They lost everything. They lost their entire business in the span of 30 minutes from this flood. And so when I'm thinking about this being our anchor card, about foundations being the anchor card, I think not in terms of the way everyone keeps framing this movement of Pluto into Aquarius as this sort of like, the revolution, it's liberation, it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius, woohoo, we're all gonna get free. And I think about the very real and the very necessary death of structures, of foundations, of things that must die. They must crumble away. We can't keep patching them up, right? We can't keep putting lipstick on the pig, so to speak. That's what I think about when I think about Pluto and Aquarius. It's about foundations. What cannot stand anymore must give way. And if we resist, right? If we resist what these changes are telling us, then there will be no collective liberation. If we resist the death, if we fear the change, if we fear things crumbling away, then there will be no changes for us, right? We must believe that what is crumbling away is revealing fertile earth, right? We've got to rip up the concrete so that we can plant seeds, right? That's what this 10 of Pentacles card is telling me. That's the anchor, right? It's about where we are building from, right? Getting in touch with what is our foundation at this moment in time. What matters the most to us, right? Before we start reaching for the stars, before we start thinking about, our utopian Marxist society where everyone's needs are met, we have to address the foundations that we're building upon. If we're not addressing our shadow selves, if we're not addressing the limitations of our viewpoints, if we're not addressing the opinions that even we don't agree with, right? If we aren't building with one another from a place of shared values, if we're all building based on a hive mind, right? Based on everybody thinks the same, right? Everybody likes the same things, and that's how we build our future. No, right? Then that is not a foundation that we can actually build an equitable and just society from. We have to dig deeper. We have to get to the root of the problem. We have to allow things to fall away. This is the anchor for us. And the 10 of Cups, right? Culmination points in the deck, these 10s, Pentacles and Cups. 10 of Cups being the compass, the 10 of Cups being our true north, the 10 of Cups being how we are moving forward, right? this is like the big happy family card. The Ten of Cups is all about fulfillment in our emotional and spiritual lives. And again, these two being what is grounding us and how we're moving forward is like incredible synchronicity for me. We need to get to the root of the problem. I feel like Pluto in Aquarius is going to be like this massive like spiritual awakening, because I feel like we're moving from, well, there's two like sides of this coin. It's like a massive spiritual awakening, but also like a massive like spiritual like perversion. And we can see like the perversion happening all over social media. All the spiritual influencers that are always talking about our manifestations, our money, abundance on the way, right? They're giving you these seeds that keep you subconsciously plugged into the matrix, right? They plant these seeds in your mind about how you need to be manifesting, about how you need to be setting your intentions, about how you need to be saying your money affirmations and doing XYZ so that you can have your needs met within this system. But at the same time, those very same seeds, right, that they're planting in you keep you plugged into the system. They keep you thinking that there is a way that you will be able to get what you need, to outsmart, to, you know, zigzag around the programming of this poverty matrix. Like, that is what these spiritual influencers are thriving on. They build, okay, 6-figure careers off of selling you your dream back to you. They're not talented, right? They're not so inspired. They're not even really concerned with collective well-being. They are powerfully materialistic people leading the blind with a lot of confidence. And I feel like Pluto in Aquarius is going to really expose that foundation. And it's also going to expose the foundation of our own spiritual belief. This being our compass, like, emotional fulfillment is not just about the relationships we have with other people. It's not just about our ability to like be accountable or, you know, maintain good communications. True emotional fulfillment comes from a deep and profound understanding of like who you are, right? Who you are, and not just like our identity, because identity changes, right? Identity will only take you up to the doorway or the threshold, right? Once you have an understanding of identity, how it changes, how historically it has been used against you, right? It'll take you up to the threshold, but it won't take you through the portal, and it won't take you past that point. And it can become its own matrix. It can become its own trap. Identity can be used against you, and it is constantly used against you. And so, you know, it's not just our ego selves, it's not just our identities, but our true selves, like the part of us that literally is a unique face and dimension of the divine. This is who we are, right? This is the part of us that chose to come back in this lifetime, in this body, to these parents, in this family system, in this particular location, this particular part of the world. Okay, that is who we are. That's the truth. And when you can connect and spend time with that seed of God that is a part of you, that seed of divinity that is inside of you, then you can connect extremely profoundly with your soul purpose. You move through the world differently. You move through the world with a very different level of grace and compassion, which is another thing that we are severely lacking. People are angry as fuck and hostile. It's evident in the way that people drive. It's evident in like the way that we move around each other in like the grocery store and shit. Like, people are profoundly unhappy at this moment, but our compass, right? This Pluto in Aquarius is leading us towards like a mass, either or. It's like I said, either a mass awakening or like a mass spiritual perversion. It's up to us how we use the tools, right? Things like manifestations and incense and candles and all of that is tools, right? It's tools that we use, but they're not necessary for our true connection to the divine. They're powerful tools. They're beautiful tools. They're things that I feel extremely grateful to be able to use. But they have no effect if you are not profoundly connected to the divine, right? If you don't walk around in that knowing and in that knowledge, then any tool that, any tool that you're using spiritually, whether you're building altars or you're making prayer candles or you're doing spells or what have you, unless you are like truly connected to the divine within you, all of that shit is just emotional alchemy. You're not actually making anything shake spiritually. And a lot of the times you just are using those tools to bypass the necessary road work that you need to do internally. So we'll leave that there. For our current energy, you got the 9 of Cups for the collective, and for where it's headed, not where it's headed, what is coming towards us, the Queen of Pentacles. Again, all this Cups and Pentacles energy, this is really about our spiritual connections, our spiritual walks, our connection to the divine. The 9 of Cups, this is like the dream come true card. It's about our ability to like make our dreams reality by moving from a place of profound love. Again, this woman, she's pouring lovingly into all of these, cups, right? Making all her wishes come true, but she's not led by sight. She's led by the heart, by the divine spark within her. This is what allows her to pour, so generously into each of these cups. The Queen of Pentacles is this ultimate manifestation of generosity and caretaking. So I feel like this is like where this collective shift is happening. There can be no, collective revolution. There can be no anti-capitalist revolution. There can be no uprising or decolonial anything without a profound internal shift. Otherwise, again, like I said, it's just bypassing. Like we are just moving past the work that actually needs to be done. In order to be the love that we want in this world, we need to extend it to ourselves. We have to go into the belly of the beast. We have to spend time there. We have to understand the shadows. We have to and understand the shadows, not because we're like trying to breathe light into them or anything. Like understand the shadows because there needs to be a fucking shadow. Because that's what it means to have depth. There's got to be shadows. All right. And so I've been rambling for a while, but so I'm going to try to wrap this up because otherwise Instagram will cut my shit off. But yes, the 9 of Cups, this is wish fulfillment. This is about our ability to pour into our hopes, our loves. Queen of Pentacles, the ultimate mother of generosity. This is about being dependable, about being somebody who sees that there is an intense need for love and care, and she gives it freely. It pours from her very naturally. She doesn't have to do much to summon it because she knows that whatever she gives out, she's like intuitively tapped into it. It comes back into her very organically. And so this is what's coming towards us. It's about our ability to pour into each other, the people that are in our community, right? The people who we love, and our ability to have that love regenerate, right? No more of this sort of toxic economy of our care and our time. We're moving into an era where we can truly understand that this is what real abundance actually is. It's our ability to love each other endlessly, and it's our ability to extend grace towards one another, to connect based on values, and to build the foundations that we want our children to be able to stand on. All right. So that's all I've got for this collective reading. I'm praying it doesn't cut off. Thank you if you made it this way, if this far into this fucking 20-minute video. That time flew by. And have a blessed Leo full moon.